Welcome to today's video. In today's video, we are in Ottawa doing some street photography, and we are going to be talking about how to make money as a content creator. And so in today's video, we will be covering the 3 steps you actually need to consider before you can make money, and then some of the recommended monetization techniques that you can actually use and incorporate into your own presence on social media. I hope I can give you some really creative ideas in this video that you haven't thought of before. And with that, let's jump on into it. So welcome to today's video. My name is Brock Wonder. I am a Toronto-based street and travel photographer, and on this channel we talk about how to live a more creative and impactful life. Now, of course, we are in Ottawa and we'll be traveling to a few different photo spots today because I want to be able to capture the city and really just find some unique architecture. And along the way, I figured, why don't we make a vlog and talk about how to support ourselves as content creators. Now, the first thing that we need to talk about is really what the difference is between a content creator and an influencer. And I think the two can get really easily confused, but they are very different things. And so an influencer is compensated as a result of partnering with brands and really monetizing a social media following directly, often asking to use discount codes or pay for products that a brand has given them, whereas a content creator are often hired by a brand to put out messaging for that brand, as well as incorporating that brand's products into their overall content workflow. And they can also create content for a brand as part of their deals, which then will be used in marketing campaigns. And so that leads me to the first and probably most important part of what being a content creator actually requires, and that is to invest in your learning. Because how competitive social media has gotten means that everybody is really good at what they do. And if you don't have a skill set that can compete with what they're up to, then you will fall behind and it will be very hard to actually grow a following. And so I can honestly say that up until this point, I've spent probably hundreds of dollars on courses, from photo editing to building creative businesses to learning how to run a commercial photo shoot, to a whole bunch of different things that have helped me along the way. And so as a photographer, I saw what the upper tier of photos looked like. And while I'm definitely not the best photographer in the world today, I was able to practice enough and learn enough about photography to get my skill set to a certain level where my photos were able to kind of compete with that upper like 20-30% of what was being posted on the platform. You really need to invest in your skills first so that you can kind of build up that credibility that you do in fact know what you're talking about in your niche, become that reasonable voice in your community, and then you can carry on from there. So before we hop on to tip number 2, let's go shoot some photos and then we'll get on into it. Right, so we are now at our second location along the Rideau Canal, and I can honestly say Ottawa is such a nice change of pace from Toronto. I'm going to do some street photography in the Byward Market right after this, so I'm pretty excited about that, and I'll make a separate video. But tip number 2 is to pick a social media platform. I think now we see short form video showing up on all these different social media platforms, and we can probably get overly excited and think that we can just take our videos from one, post it on the other, and get a higher chance for more views or more brand deals because we can repurpose videos. And I can say that that's actually not going to work. Best thing that any content creator can do if you're looking to make money on the platforms is to start by picking one platform and really investing in yourself and your success on that platform before you carry out into other social media networks. And there are 3 reasons why. First reason has to do with the algorithms. Each of them are different on every platform, and as a result, each require different content. This day, Instagram short form videos are very different than TikTok short form videos. And the 2 platforms are differentiating themselves in the style of video that gets pushed to the audiences on those platforms. And you really need to master one before you can carry over to the other, because you'll be stretching yourself to make content for everything and not figuring out really what resonates with the community you're trying to build for yourself. The second tip then is learning how to market yourself on social media. Content creators are needing to learn marketing principles similar to how brands market themselves on these platforms. And that's because of how competitive everything's getting. This is things like clear branding, having a clear message, giving people obvious reasons to follow you and engage with your content, and just realizing that there are specific tactics that you need to start integrating besides just being very good at what you do. Third side of this then is that to a certain degree, you need to treat this as a business before you can actually make it a business. And I know that sounds kind of obvious, but it is true that you need to follow a certain amount of rigor in how you're conducting yourself in your personal brand as a content creator before you're able to really have a consistent monetization scheme that you're able to take advantage of. Now, why I say that is because a lot of content creators don't actually invest in building themselves a content strategy. I really recommend that everybody has a playbook that they can reference that has their clear content pillars and clear strategies that they want to take advantage of, and figure out month by month what content they want to post when and what their creative process is, so that they can build up a consistent workflow over time and really ensure that they are delivering for their audiences as best as possible. And that will basically lead us to the monetization techniques. But before we jump into it, let's go take some more photos, and then I'll tell you my recommendations. That leads us to tip number 3. So once you've mastered tips 1 and 2, now you can start thinking about different monetization tactics. And of the 5, the first one we'll talk about is brand partnerships. Now, as a content creator, brands will often reach out to you looking for you to create content that they can use as promotional material. And that's because inevitably all the brands are really looking out for is a strong content creator presence and someone who can help ensure that they will deliver on reach to increase the brand awareness for that specific company. The second monetization option that is out there for creators is a paid email newsletter. Now, a lot of people will obviously release email newsletters for free, but the real valuable newsletters are the ones that are released bi-weekly or monthly and has a paywall. And the reason why is because you are paying for access to exclusive content that that content creator is either providing. So if you're a chef, this might be recipes that you would either put in a recipe book that you've now put behind an email newsletter that your followers would be able to cook every week as a result of paying for it. Piggybacking off of that idea is this notion of courses. One of the more common ways, but also one of the hardest ways to actually get a revenue stream as a creator is through designing an online course. And that's because a course must be very good and very high quality if you expect people to pay for it, especially if you've built that strong emotional connection with your audience. And the fourth option is one that I personally really enjoy as an idea, and that is coaching calls, because it helps build a more direct connection with your audience because you're having that one-on-one relationship with them. While it is time consuming, I think it's very valuable and will definitely help with word of mouth, because if you leave your followers with very positive experiences, that will translate through to real life interactions and inevitably be more powerful than if you were to just connect online. And the final tip is to really think about Patreon exclusive content or some sort of paywall scheme. Obviously, YouTube subscriptions exist now, and by offering exclusive content in a paid content format, you're able to deliver more value to your audience as an end result than if you were to just provide tips and tricks for free. And so as you can see, there are really a ton of different ways you can monetize as a content creator, but the most important thing you need to remember is to focus on your community first. You can't just continually sell things to your audience without really building that emotional connection. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video and you've enjoyed the photography along the way. If you'd like to see some more business tips or how to use social media better, please comment down below. Let me know what you'd like to see next. I'm happy to share. And with that, I'm gonna go shoot some street photography in the Byward Market, and I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.